We respectfully invite Mr. Pablo López from Global Cyber Alliance to share insight on mutually agreed norms for routing security. Hi, Mr. Pablo.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so should I start?
Yes.
Okay. So good morning from Barcelona. Good afternoon in Myanmar. My name is Pablo López Aguilar. I am the Associate Director of the Internet Integrity Program at the Global Cyber Alliance. And it's a great pleasure to present today the project MANRS that has been running and improving the state of routing security across the world now over more than 10 years. So, however, before going into MANRS, I would like to briefly introduce the context of the project. So, what's the state of today's internet routing system? There are around 77,500 autonomous systems that altogether compose the internet. Each autonomous system uses a protocol called BGP, Border Gateway Protocol, to show data across the internet. And as you can see here, as of March 2025, there are more than 1.1 million advertised IP prefixes in the globe. So it is clear that BGP is a fundamental component in the structure of internet and the proper interconnection of routing systems. However, as you know, the use of BGP has several challenges. First of all, it was created in 1989, where there was not enough awareness about the importance of implementing secure systems. So it was more important to deploy things that worked than considering security as a pillar in the development of any digital system. As a consequence, BGP assumes that all networks are trustworthy. So there is not a security mechanism to check if a path is legitimate, or if a path is not legitimate. So that means that on today's internet landscape, with the large volume of attacks that take place every second, this is a problem because BGP is vulnerable to both malicious attacks and human mistakes. I'm not going to delve on all the routing threats that happens every day, but here in this slide, I just want to highlight some of the most relevant attacks that take place in routing systems. On the one hand, for example, you have prefix or route hijacking that takes place when an attacker impersonates another network operator, pretending that a server or a network is their client. So that can cause DDoS attacks or traffic interception. Then you have also route leaks that happens with a network operator when a network operator announces routes that it shouldn't. So either due to misconfiguration or either due to malicious intent. So this can be used by bad actors to access traffic's information. Also, another well-known attack is IP address spoofing, where the malicious actors fake the source IP address in a packet to make it look it's coming from someone else. However, as I just said, these are just some examples to convey the importance of building a more secure routing system. However, even if a network implements security layers on its systems, the network will still be secure if the other networks do not implement security measures. Therefore, solving these challenges should be a shared responsibility, since, as you know, it is a collective problem. So, how could we collectively solve these security issues? On the one hand, we have some regulations that aim to address these issues. Each country might develop its own solutions. But as you know, this creates a layer of complexity because different countries may apply different regulations, and that leads to fragmented and that leads to non-standardized solutions that are against the Internet principles, where problems should be addressed from a global perspective and not from a country perspective. Therefore, we need a widely accepted norm that goes beyond borders. So this is the aim of the MANRS project, to develop a norm that sets the minimum requirements to consider that a network is secure. It has to be visible and it has to be measurable. And this is basically the raison d'etre of MANRS. It stands for Mutually Agreed Norms for Routing Security. It's a collaborative approach that provides crucial fixes to reduce the most important routing threats. So this norm has two main pillars. On the one hand, it sets the minimum security requirements that need to be in place. These requirements are defined through MANRS actions. And on the other hand, it demonstrates commitment from the participants since all data is published on the MANRS website. So let me here highlight that MANRS is not a best practice, but it is a norm. And a norm defines what we need to achieve, while a best practice defines how to achieve it. In this slide, you can see the four groups that MANRS is addressing. The very first group are network operators. This group was conformed in 2014 at the very beginning of MANRS. Then in 2018, MANRS developed a set of actions for internet exchange points. In 2020, other actions were defined for content delivery networks and cloud providers. And the very last group was created in 2021 for equipment vendors. So here you can see an example of the actions that we require for network operators. Action one, for example, is filtering. So by implementing this action, network operators will prevent propagation of incorrect routing information. Action two is anti-spoofing, that prevents traffic with spoofed trusted IP addresses. This action is not mandatory to be MANRS participant. Then we have action three, that is coordination. This action aims to facilitate global operational communication and coordination between network operators. And then we have action four, that is routing information, that ensures that network operators facilitate validation of routing announcements on a global scale. And this is, here you can see the actions for IXPs. As I said before, each group has a different set of actions, and all of them are available in the MANRS website. These actions, as you can see, include filtering, promotion, protect the peering platform, coordination, and tools. So let me say here that for every application, there is an internal audit at the Global Cyber Alliance. And if we see that the applicant is not compliant with a specific action, we give feedback to the applicant to help him to be compliant. So at the end of the day, it is a conversation where all parties have the same goal. That is, help participants to be compliant with the actions that we propose in MANRS. So I said before that there was a first pillar that described the actions that participants should be compliant with. But the other pillar is the MANRS community. And through the implementation of actions, the community publicly demonstrates its commitment into securing their routing systems. Because as I said, all the information is publicly available. Here you can see the community that has been constantly growing over the years. And now we have 1,042 network operators. We have 146 IXPs, 32 CDNs and cloud providers, and 6 vendors. So in this map, you can see the distribution of MANRS participants all around the world. Most of the presence is located in the United States, Latam, and Europe. And you can see that there is a lack of participants in Asia. So I think today is a very good opportunity to encourage you to apply to MANRS and be participants of this very unique project. So here's the main question. Why should you join MANRS? And let me try to answer this question. First of all, when you are a MANRS participant, you are signaling, you are telling the others what is your posture against cyber threats. You are telling the others that you are taking care of cybersecurity incidents. And that conveys a good reputation in the community and shows that you are a trustworthy partner towards the eyes of the other players. Also, of course, by implementing MANRS actions, you will reduce cyber incidents and you will improve operations and communications with your peering partners. Also, let me highlight in this slide that implementing the MANRS actions is not the end of the process, but it's rather the beginning. As I said before, MANRS sets the minimum requirements that routing infrastructures should implement to be more secure. However, this is an ongoing process that has to improve as threats, as you know, are every day more evolved and every day more complex. So now let me briefly give you an overview on how we measure MANRS conformance. MANRS is very well detailed on the MANRS website, which is manrs.org. Moreover, the MANRS Observatory, that is also public, provides the state of all routing existing systems. So that means that the measures that appear in the observatory are transparent, since the data is publicly accessible. The measures are passive, so that means that there is no need to perform any actions from the networks. And the measures are evolving. That means that the community decides what has to be measured and how to measure it. This slide, for example, represents an overview of the current state of routing security for March 2025. As you can see here, it shows the number of incidents, culprits, routing information that includes IRR and RPKI, and route origin validation. So in the bottom side of the screenshot, you can see the MANRS readiness scores that include filtering, anti-spoofing, coordination, and as I said, IRR and RPKI. And here you can see the same information, but just for Myanmar. This is public information that you can find in the observatory. So if you are a MANRS participant, this information is not publicly available in the observatory, but you need to access, once you are a participant of MANRS, you will be able to access this specific information about all MANRS participants. For example, this table shows information about MANRS participants in Myanmar. As you can see, the table shows the ASN, the holder of the ASN, and the percentage of compliance for each of the actions. Anti-spoofing is not shown in many of the ASNs because, as I said before, this action is not mandatory. So what has happened after 10 years? What has the project achieved? After 10 years, there are more than 102,000 participants across the globe. This is a great number, but there is still a large room for improvement. The project started from one program for network operators to now 4 programs. Also, the project offers free training resources and activities available in the website. And as you know, the project was launched in 2014 by the Internet Society. And after 9 years of providing the MANRS Secretariat, at the beginning of last year, in January 2024, they partnered with the Global Cyber Alliance that is now taking this role. So what is the Global Cyber Alliance? The Global Cyber Alliance is a non-for-profit organization that is all over the world and has 2 or 3 main different programs. On the one hand, we have the Internet Integrity Program that is where MANRS is sitting. The Internet Integrity Program is focused on trying to addressing the systemic risk of the infrastructure. So we try to provide data and community to reduce the risk from the infrastructure perspective. Then we have the other program that is focused in the end users. So it is capacity and resilience. And this program aims to build and to develop tools for different profiles of end users to train them to be more prepared against cyber attacks. So on the one hand, we are addressing the risk at the infrastructure level, but on the other hand, we are addressing the risk and training people at the end user level. So this is basically the implementation Git for network operators. As I said before, you don't have to be MANRS compliant from the very beginning, but if you apply, the audit process will help you to be MANRS compliant because we are giving you feedback. And you have also a set of you have a tutorial that helps you address the actions that are required depending on your specific profile. But as I said, we give you feedback and we help you in the process to be MANRS compliant. Here you can see the website where the tutorial is based. Of course, you have my email address and I will be very happy to help you address any questions that you may have if you want to be a MANRS participant. As I said before, why join MANRS? Because on the one hand, it improves your security posture. You show the others that you are aware about the risk of cybersecurity, and it gives you a good reputation. And it is also a community of action where you can see people that are implementing the actions that you are also implementing. And it is a very unique project, and it also gives a very competitive differentiator among the other, towards the other participants. So here you have the website. You can feel free to go and see all the information. You have also the email. And in this presentation, you have my email address, so I will be very happy to address any questions that you may have through the application of the MANRS project. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, no. I'm done.
Thank you for sharing, Mr. Pablo.
It's been a great pleasure. I hope you enjoyed these days. I would like to be there, maybe in another occasion.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yeah. We will move on to the question and answer for your slide.